This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself.
Alright, we're in the 2005 Yukon, and we're going to take this plastic yoke off of this, which is hooked to the motor back there, with this pin is going to come out where my finger is. And we are using, this is not a specialized, this is 11/32 ratchet, and we're going to put it on there. And even though we don't have much travel where we are, it's enough to get that off. There we go. Got a little purchase on it, and I'm just going to go back and forth until I get it all off, and I'll show you guys. I'm using the 11/32 socket, and I got this pin now off of the yoke. And I'm just going to pull the sucker out. And then, though, to put in the new motor, here's a pin. I'm going to take out this 13mm right here. And this 13mm right here. And I can get the seat off. Before I do that, though, I'll disconnect this modular plug. Give me a little bit more room to work. So I'm going to press in on this, the index finger, and then pull the plug out, wiggle it out. 13mm nut off, just taking off this one with a 13mm socket. Now I can get the seat cushion kind of out of there by lifting it up off out of these. Once I have these out, I'm going to lift up and pull toward me a little bit. It should let go in the back. Get this cushion out of here. This one's up. So we can get the other one, other side. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to get this a little more out of the way. Some of the electrical parts still hooked up. It's going to give me a slightly better view what's going on. I think I still got to get this one off to get it out of here. Another thing you could do is just release it from the motor here. And if you want to release it, you just have to pull these little guys, use a screwdriver, pull these little guys out, pull back, that comes off. And then, I think I'll move now. Get the cushion up, more out of the way. Like we're still connected somewhere, let me see. Oh yeah, we got this one on the seat belt. Let's undo that one. Oh, that'll be easy. Right here. And that should come right out. Just gotta pry up on this little piece. Let me get a small screwdriver. I can pry in there and get this little seatbelt connector out. There we go. So that gave me a little more room so I can see what I'm doing. Still have a connection right here. We're not going to disconnect right now. And here's our motor. We already took out one motor. I did that by undoing this pin with an 11/32 socket. That to get that yoke out. Did the same on the front. And then I grinded down this pin. And then you should be able to push the pin forward to get it out. And you can see on this side that you do have a little bit of room to work. So I'm going to pull that out. Pin comes out. Motor is now released. Remember, there was another motor here that I've already removed, and I've already loosened this pin. Get that pin out. Okay, so this motor now will come out, and I'm going to now put the new motors in, because both these were not working very well. Put the new motors in position. Not new motors, but used motors, all ready to go. And we're going to get them in position. That underneath for the pin, which is like a toilet hold down bolt, but it has two nuts on it, which is good. So let's see if we can line this stuff all up. It's about the right aperture too. I'm going to do the this motor first. Get this through here. We got this new bolt to go through this part of the bracket, through these first two parts of the motor assembly. Here's the next part. Get it through the back part and then through this hole, and we'll put the nut on. This is that bathroom tie-down bolt that's been put through the two motors, and it's just starting to come out here at the end. I think if I had to do this over again, I would use a similar diameter and similar length thread pattern, but I would use like a probably normal bolt rather than this, because I'm having to use pliers to turn it. It'd be so easy if it was a bolt, because you'd have a socket. So next time, but I think the length will be really good, and it's just threading through. We can see it coming through here, and then I'll put a little nut at the end. So we got that brass bolt in there. Comes out the other side. It is good for this to be loose and for these to be able to move pretty freely as they operate. But I'm going to put on this little nut here to hold it, and I'll put another nut in on top of it to give it opposite type of hold. And we're almost done. Alright, so we got the nuts in there. Tighten those down. And then we're going to hook up the power, and we'll next hook up the hook the yokes back up. Gotta make sure that can still pivot. That's good. Okay, cool. And now to hook the yoke up, here we have the back one, this thing, and it's got to line up with that. But right now we can see it's colliding. So what I want to do is lift up here and push this out toward the back of the truck. There we go. And that's just helps me then to line this up better. And then I can actually spin out this yoke on the spindle to get these holes to line up better before I put the pin through. Looks pretty good. Yeah, almost. I'm going to make it a little longer. I think these are called yokes. I'm not even sure. A couple more. Might do it. And then we got these pins, and we're going to put it in, and we got it to hold in with 11/32. Line it up, and we'll do that same on the front, and we can test it, but it should work good. Tightening up that pin right now with 11/32, so that one's secure, and then we're going to do the one in the front also. Line this up. I'm going to lift up on this piece, and I'm going to push so I can line this a little further away, and then I'll spin out this one until they line up. Picking up that 11/32 yoke pin, the one for the front. These are the motors that lift up the seat, and the one right here is the motor that makes the seat go back and forth, which is a different procedure for changing it. That's tight. Alright, so we're going to put this seat cushion back in position. We want to hook up this little seat belt thing first with its partner. Find it here. So the partner is right there close to the seat, so we're going to line those back up, click that in, and I think before I do all this too, I'll put these motor controllers back on. So I'm just going to push those in until they click. I guess they're only going one way. Here we go. Do the seatbelt thing. That one clicked. Okay. So we're going to put these pins back in the back. Coming in at a diagonal. That one's still hooked up good. You can see those white pins near the back have to fit into that hole. Alright. That actually came out already. Okay, slide it back, and we're going to put these posts back in. There we go. Put the 13 millimeters back on those. See how it is though. Yeah, so that brings the back up. Brings the front up. It comes up. Cool. One comes down. There's the front. The back. All right, so we got everything hooked back up. We're just tightening up these little 13 millimeters underneath the seat to hold the seat cushion on. We'll give it a final test. Putting a little bit of grease on that little metal worm drive that goes back and forth can help too, to just give you a smoother operation. Then it'll make the little gears last longer too. So these are just the 13 millimeter ones underneath the seat. Almost done. Repair is all complete, and we have back goes up, back goes down, front goes up, front goes down. Got back and forth, so we're ready to go. And just a couple of these motors had trouble. So when the motor's active, gets 100 or 12 volts DC going through here, either this polarity or this polarity, and depending on which polarity, it'll spin a certain direction. It makes a gear spin, which spins this worm drive, which goes into this, and this makes this yoke either go forward or backward, and that pulls a lever which will make the seat go up. Grooven brass gear parts. These are really cool, and they fixed this problem with the motor, but this is only for, I think it's 2007 onward. So if you have something prior to 2007, this retrofit won't work. You have to get yourself a used motor to make it work. But this is from a company called Grooven.com. I think it's GRUVEN.com. All right.